In this video, I'm going to be covering the rise of nationalism in the 1800s, which leads up to the First World War. American nationalism starts with the War of Independence and the creation of America. The prominent figures in early American nationalism were George Washington and Thomas Paine. He was a prominent anti-British rule figure who wrote a pamphlet called Common Sense. This pamphlet was read all over America in pubs and coffee houses and was made for the Americans to push against British rule and unify America. George Washington, who I'm sure we have all heard of, and the massive part he played in American history. He was both a politician and a general, known for keeping up morale of the American troops and being a strong leading figure for citizens. Now, nationalism in the 1800s was rising all around the British colonies in America. One of the most well-known events was the Boston Tea Party. It was a political and mercantile protest by the Sons of Liberty against the British moving Indian tea from the Indian Tea Company, which was British-owned, through America to China without paying taxes. The colonists felt that they were being taken advantage of and revolted. This is also where the phrase taxation without representation comes from, because they felt that they were being taxed without being represented either, which they disliked. The revolt consisted of them taking crates of British tea and throwing them into the Boston Harbor. Now, a lot of them did this wearing traditional native clothing and headgear to avoid having their identities shown, so that they were able to do it without being caught. American nationalism has evolved over time, but at its core, it was, and still is, about connection to the land, independence from oppression, and a belief that they should be their own free country, governed by themselves as the first modern democracy. This belief caused the Americans to fight off the British and claim America as their own. This belief drove the Civil War, as the South and the North felt a political disconnect, where the North was more progressive and focused on personal freedoms and abolishing slavery, whereas the South felt they were unfairly treated and wanted to maintain their way of life and remain more independent. Now, the conflict around the core ideas of personal freedom and democracy led to the Civil War, whose tension can still be felt today. It has also led to other problems in American history, but I will not be covering those today. Now, this is both the cause and the consequence to American nationalism.